Texting and drinking is never a good idea. We've all done it, and we've all regretted it. The drunken texts you forgot you sent. Prospectors collected them in inTEXTicated on Rock 107.
From the 858 San Diego, California. Dude, might want to go shopping. I made pancakes this afternoon and used sandwich bread. Area code 240, Germantown, Maryland. Squirrels and blue jays and dove-like things. They're just frolicking around in my backyard. I want to be like them. And from area code 214, Dallas, Texas. Sex on bubble wrap equals best decision ever.
You hit send, and we hit the floor laughing in inTEXTicated on Rock 107.
Yonkers, New York, area code 914. We all just danced like dinosaurs in the center of the dance floor. From the 402, Omaha, Nebraska. Important life lesson. Flammable and inflammable mean the same thing. And from Arlington, Virginia, area code 703. Just woke up wearing a top hat and Simpsons boxers. I also found more money in my wallet than I had before going out. About $1,000 more.
Proof that booze and cell phones don't mix. In inTEXTicated on Rock 107.
Area code 614, Columbus, Ohio. This may or may not be the weed talking, but this is by far the best tasting toothpaste I've ever had. Eugene, Oregon. Area code 541. My math teacher staples Burger King applications to failed tests. And from Parma, Ohio, area code 440. The ticket read, found nude in a tree.
Hey, we found him in your telephone. In inTEXTicated on Rock 107. Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
A cannabis company in Michigan offered jobs to 400 Burger King employees who got laid off. It'll be a smooth transition for them because they'll be working with the same clientele. Police are after Bam Margera for threatening his family, but hey, at least he's wanted by somebody. Harrison Ford says Dial of Destiny will be the last time he plays Indiana Jones. Then a Brinks truck backed up and he added, maybe.
Prospector ruins everything, even the news. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
For Little League Baseball in Deptford Township, New Jersey. Like many other Little Leagues across America, idiot parents line the stands at Little League games in Deptford, assailing the umpires for every perceived wrong or blown call, like they're dealing with Nestor Shylock at Yankee Stadium or something. Well, the good people in this town outside of Philadelphia have decided to do something about it. If you yell at the umpire at a Little League game, you got to officiate the next 3 games yourself. What? That's like punishing a child by making them eat more candy. These parents are already causing chaos, and now you want to give them a whistle and a uniform? Brilliant. But you know what? On second thought, I think this rule might actually do something. I mean, you see these parents, they're all talk, no action. They sit in their lawn chairs, drinking their soda or thermos full of whiskey because God forbid they sit through 6 innings of a kid's baseball game without an adult beverage, and they yell at the umpire from a safe distance. Because deep down, they're a bunch of feckless betas who want you to think they're alphas. They can't face the miserable failures they've become, so they're going to pump themselves up and make themselves feel bigger by screaming at an ump who's volunteering at a kid's game. These are the cretins who think the infield fly rule has something to do with zippers. But now, they open their festering traps and bang! They're going to be on the field, making the tough calls, dealing with the pressure themselves. They'll see it's not as easy as it looks. And who knows, maybe they'll even learn a thing or two. Maybe they'll realize that umpires are doing their best and they don't deserve to be berated and harassed. Maybe they'll learn some sportsmanship and respect for the game. You know, the kids' game of Little League Baseball for kids. In fact, I think they should let the kids who play the game heckle these Yambags when they have to get behind the plate. I'm imagining a bunch of parents out there with their hands on their hips trying to look tough while a bunch of 8-year-olds scream, "You suck," right in their face. So kudos to the folks in Deptford Township, New Jersey for this ingenious rule. Let's hope it teaches some lessons and makes Little League games a little more enjoyable for everyone involved. But I think we all know that won't happen. Instead, these simpletons will feign interest in actually umping a game and be all contrite, then conveniently be too busy to show up. Yelling at Little League umps from the stands is like yelling at the weatherman for predicting rain. The job's way harder than it looks, and most of us aren't nearly qualified enough to do it.
Plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
I feel like these folks might see a lot of the same customers. 26 Burger Kings just closed down in Michigan last week and over 400 people got laid off. But now a weed company is offering to hire all of them and pay them more than they were making before. They'll make at least $16 an hour.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
1 minute inside a woman's head.
I can't believe how good my hair looks today. Look at it. It really has bounce and shape. It must be that new shampoo. Or maybe it's because I've been eating so many carrots. No, that's stupid. Carrots don't help your hair, do they? Maybe all these years all I needed were more carrots. Rabbits have nice hair. Angora rabbits. Hey, whatever happened to that Angora sweater I had? Oh, right. Jimmy's watch got caught in it when he tried to feel me up at his family's Thanksgiving. Everybody thought it was so funny, ha ha ha. But his grandmother still looks at me like I'm a slut. Wait, is that a white hair on my head? Oh, phew, no, it was just lint. I would like to smack that expression right off of Jimmy's grandmother's face. Oh my God, hitting an old lady. I'm an awful person. Oh, remember that rabbit in Fatal Attraction? Poor rabbit. I have to remember to get more carrots. My hair looks great today.
And that was another episode of 1 minute inside a woman's head.
It's time for another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Spring has sprung. It's nice to get out of the house even if it is a little rainy. Hey, you know what they say. April showers bring May flowers. Is it me, or would April showers and May flowers be good names for adult movie stars?
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
107, good morning. I'm Prospector with the NFL Draft going tomorrow. We're doing the Rock Draft today. Anybody you want, living or dead, no more than one person from one band. And you got to have a singer, guitar, drum player, and a bass player, but you can add a fifth if you want. Out of the Rock Lines, Lauren, who's in your Rock Draft?
Well, my lead singer is Rob Halford. Mm-hmm. All right, my guitarist, we got rocking out with Slash.
Okay.
Bassist, Billy Sheehan.
Billy Sheehan, of course, played with David Lee Roth. Very cool. All right, I like it. Who else?
And on my drums, I've got Neil Peart. And then my wild card, Freddie Mercury.
How long did it take you to think of this?
It's actually something that my family and I debate constantly, my friends.
I'm glad somebody's thinking about this stuff, too. Steve says, give me Danny Carey on drums from Tool, Eddie Van Halen on guitar, Sting on bass, and singing, Eddie Vedder. And for a bonus, how about Tom Petty? Because he can add vocals. You can have a nice 1, 2, 3 singer mix there with Vedder and Sting. That's a very versatile band you got there. It is the Rock Draft, and we are heading to the Rock Lines. Who do we got here? Rock 107.
Okay, Bon Scott singer, definitely. From the 70s, it's got to be Bon Scott.
Okay.
And then Jeff Beck, John Bonham, and as far as a bass player, Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee on bass.
And then if I had to throw in another guitar player, Pete Townsend.
There you go. I like your band, man. It's kind of cool there.
Well, I'm just looking at in my opinion, who's the best of every position. And from Bon Scott, he's God.
There you go. Somebody loves Bon, right? Eric checking in on Facebook.com/Angry Prospector says Chris Cornell on vocals, guitar, Zach Wild, bass, Geezer Butler, drums, Neil Peart. Mike, guitar, give me Clapton, bass, Paul McCartney, drums, Keith Moon, and singer, Robert Plant. And for my bonus, maybe Ray Manzarek on keyboards from the Doors. Frank's on the Rock Lines. It's the Rock Draft. Who are you taking here on Rock 107?
All right, we got Flea on the bass.
Okay.
We got Alex Van Halen on the drums.
Oh, yeah.
We got Elton John rocking the piano. Flash on the guitar. And McCartney's bringing it home on the vocal.
Who's in your Rock Draft? Dave on the Rock Lines, Rock 107. What's up?
Hey, Prospector, the Rock Draft is on.
Yes, it is.
Betancourt, Steve Harrison,
Iron Maiden, Sebastian Bach, and Steven Adler.
Yeah, that is a great hard rock band for the Rock Draft. You can pick them any way you want. Greg says, how about Prince on lead vocal and guitar, Scott Ian on rhythm guitar, Tina Weymouth bass, she's of course from Talking Heads, and Dave Grohl drums, Dizzy Reed keyboards. You could do anything you want with your band in the Rock Draft on Rock 107.
What's a...
At rock107.com.
Here are the nominees. Nominee number 1.
It's rough when your nice evening drive with your favorite cooking spices gets interrupted by cops. Last Thursday, police in Florida pulled over a 34-year-old guy named Daniel Barrera for driving with a revoked license. They looked inside his car and saw a clear, large bag filled with powder. Daniel said it was chili powder sent from his family in Guatemala, which sounds delicious, but that's not what it was. Cops tested it. It was positive for heroin. 29.7 grams of it. It's unclear what color it was, but that could have been a tip-off. Heroin's usually white, brown, or gray, while chili powder at the grocery store is usually bright red. Daniel was charged with driving with a revoked license, narcotics trafficking, and this could trigger a probation violation from a previous DUI conviction.
Nominee number 2.
A man in Arkansas was arrested last week for felony ear piercing because he pierced his teenage son's ear. Here's the deal. The kid showed up at school last Thursday with his left ear pierced. He told friends his dad got drunk, put him in a chokehold, and shoved the needle in his ear. A teacher overheard it and reported it to school officials. The cops later showed up at the family house where the father, Jeremy Sherland, admitted to piercing his son's ears but refused to let them ask any further questions or talk to his son. Cops spoke to prosecutors and were told they could arrest Jeremy under laws in Arkansas on unlicensed body art on a person under 16 and in an unlicensed facility. The man refused arrest, so 4 officers had to forcibly take him into custody. The scuffle was caught on camera by the son, who was heard saying that he wanted his ears pierced. Then he posted it on TikTok in the caption saying, "I pierced my ear a year ago, and he got arrested because of it."
And the winner is...
the guy who had chili powder in his car, which actually turned out to be heroin when tested by the police. I guess the chili powder excuse didn't work. I do know this. You are the Yambag of the day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yambag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yambag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107.
Thanks for listening to on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.